morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Saturday, the 7th of March. Looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 48,419 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 49,679. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin's breakout from this morning's high, 49,100, and yesterday's high, 49,238. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and resistance at 50,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at 51,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 54,98. Fall through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level at 47,600 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of the 23.6% fib at 45,501. Second major support level at 46,340 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we have a widening of the bullish histograms after yesterday's bullish cross, supporting the early upside. On the EMA, the 50s closing in on the 100 and the 200. Also a bullish indicator through the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 48,419, break out from yesterday's high at 49,238 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 1605 to continue the run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 1698. Going to need support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from this morning's high, that was at 1687.5. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 1700 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum test resistance at 1800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1745. Fall through the pivot, we'll bring the 23.6% fib at 1579 and the first major support level at 1559 into play before any recovery. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of the second major support level, sitting at 1466. Looking at the MACD, we have a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram, but nothing suggestive of a bearish move ahead. On the EMA, it's a bullish indicator this morning. The 50 EMA continues to move away from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 closing in on the 200, suggesting further upside through the day. So keep through the early morning, avoid the pivot at 1605 and break out from the morning high 1687.5 to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bullish this morning. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 181 to continue to run at the first major resistance level at 187. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from 185 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin test resistance at 190 before any pullback. The 23.6% fib at 195 should limit the upside, however. Fall through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level at 177 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay well clear of 38.2% fib at 163. Second major support level at 171 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we have a widening of the bullish histogram this morning, supporting the early upside. On the EMAs, also bullish. The 50s moving away from the 100, closing in on the 200, suggesting further upside through the day. So keep through the early morning, avoid the pivot at 181 and break out from 185 to bring resistance levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, relatively positive start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 4613 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 4729. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from this 38.2% fib at 0.4632. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level at 4729 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ripple's XRP target the second major resistance level at 4827 before any pullback. A fall through this 38.2% fib and the pivot at 0.4613, would bring the first major support level at 0.4516 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of sub 0.44 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.4399. Looking at the MACD, slight widening of the bullish histogram this morning, suggesting some upside through the day. On the EMA, the 50s moving away from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 closing in on the 200, also suggesting further upside. Key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.4613 to bring major resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play.